everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Courtney and I'm the founder of the Bloom and Believe Collective. This week I'm going to take you through quite an exciting and busy week. I have a pop-up shop at a fundraiser on Saturday, so I'll have to carve out some time this week to get my boxes prepared, the ritual kit boxes prepared to sell on the day. But there actually is some other quite exciting stuff going on energetically that I want to share with you. So the Bloom and Believe Collective is built upon aligning with the energy of the seasons. It's built upon aligning with astrological transits and harnessing that energy for growth, development and manifestation. So we're in the middle of eclipse season, and I'll talk a little bit in a minute about the significance of eclipse seasons and how they can actually be responsible for some quite significant changes in our lives. And we're on the build up to the new moon solar eclipse in Aries, which is happening on Saturday the 29th of March. So I thought I would document my week as we build up to the eclipse and just let you know how that energy is shaping or influencing my life at this time. I find eclipses so powerful. Eclipses happen twice a year, around March, April, and then again around September. And they are known for completely overhauling our lives. So often eclipses can bring about huge change by way of new opportunities presenting themselves. They can also remove things from our lives, remove obstacles from our lives. And usually it's things that deep down we know need to be removed from our life because it's blocking us from aligning with our highest path at this time, or it's blocking us from what we're trying to manifest. So eclipses, I like to think of them as they're kind of like a divine intervention from our highest self. And it's like our highest self saying, look, you've gone off track, you're off course for your highest path at this time. Let me help. I'm just going to rearrange a few things in your life. I'm going to take a few things away, but I'm going to bring a few things in to get you back on track. But all that rearranging and realigning can feel very turbulent. It can feel very sudden, and sometimes we're just not ready for it. But what we have to do at this particular time during eclipses is trust that everything is happening for us. It's not happening to us. I feel like eclipse season is a very easy time to go into victim mode when sudden and shocking events can occur in our lives. Things might be removed from our life very suddenly, but things might come into our life very suddenly. So for example, that could be people leaving our life very suddenly, but also could be the right people that we need in our lives right now coming in quite suddenly as well. So I always like to pay extra attention to what's happening in my life during eclipse season. Now, on Sunday, I kind of wanted to zoom in on this energy and what it means for me based on my astrological placements. So what I did was I asked Chat GPT. Now I know that Chat GPT doesn't replace some knowledge, and it doesn't replace intuition, and it doesn't replace energy and feeling. But I thought I'm going to ask Chat GPT what I can expect for my week this week on the build up to the solar eclipse based on my unique astrological placements, because I was just interested to see how accurate it could be and if it could support me. I was shocked at what ChatGPT actually produced for me by way of a week's energy forecast and prediction. So ChatGPT has predicted energy and themes that I can expect every day this week up until Saturday. And so I did this on Sunday night, and one of the things that it mentioned quite early on in the prediction, in the reading, was that I can expect to have to make a very big decision this week. And I was thinking, oh, I wonder what that could be. There's areas of life that I actually would like to have the opportunity to make a big decision on, but I obviously could never have been sure what could come up. But yesterday, I had no longer just been chatting to a friend about how I was just feeling like things are going to become clear by the end of the week. And literally, I got a message from my husband and I was like, oh my gosh, this this is mental. This is it. This is the big decision that has to be made. So that came in really quickly. I'll show you a quick screen recording of everything that Chat GPT produced for me. And if you want the Chat GPT prompt that I used to generate that information, drop me a comment and I'll let you know. But I was honestly mind blown. So I just thought this might be quite a fun experiment for the week. I'm going to document obviously with the vlog, but I'll also just keep a note of what's happening through the week energetically for me, what's happening and shifting and maybe coming in or out of my reality, and how it aligns with the ChatGPT prediction that I got. And then we can maybe see whether ChatGPT is a reliable tool to use for your own unique personal astrological predictions. More to come on that. Good morning everyone, happy Friday. I haven't vlogged much this week. I have had the most insane week. I began this vlog by talking about the upcoming Aries Solar Eclipse and the reading that I did with ChatGPT, and honestly, like, actually a couple of other things have happened that ChatGPT referenced in their reading to me, and it is honestly, I don't even know where to begin. But what I do want to say is that my husband and myself, we have literally quantum leaped our life this week. We have manifested a complete life leap is the only way that I can describe this. This week has been insane. And I can't even begin to tell you how that's unraveled, because there's just so much for me to still digest and reflect on. But I'm so excited to share this in maybe next week's vlog. I'm hoping I'll have had time for everything to fully land, and I need to integrate with this new reality properly, fully. This is honestly, guys, I really wish that I had the words right now to describe what has happened this week. So let me just start by telling you what has been happening this week and what hasn't. So I was meant to be doing the pop-up shop tomorrow. I've decided to cancel doing my pop-up shop because my husband got this incredible opportunity this week, which literally, like, it literally manifests so many different things into our lives that we've been trying to manifest as a family and as a couple. And we just thought, no, like, we need to celebrate this, like, we need time to process and integrate all of this. And it's Mother's Day on Sunday as well, so it is going to be really nice to have a little family break away. So we're going away today, which we only booked at like 11 o'clock last night, and I will vlog a little bit of while I'm there, but not too much, because I do want this to be like dedicated family time away from screens and cameras and stuff. I really look forward to telling you this manifesting story and look back at what I've been doing and actually what we've been doing as a couple to manifest this vision, because this is much more than just an individual manifestation. This is also part of the power of manifesting as a partnership. I really want to talk more about that in detail, manifesting as a partnership when you bring together masculine and feminine energy, when you're working towards a similar goal, and how everything just snaps into place so quickly and so magnetically and like amplified times 100. So yeah, there's going to be a big vlog to come on this. It's going to be like my biggest manifesting story to date. But I've got some time this morning to get myself organised and have a little bit of a self-care morning. So I thought I would just take you through that and we can chat about a few other manifesting stories and things like that. So let's dive into my little skincare routine that I have manifested. This is a really cute manifesting story, which I can't wait to tell you about. I had a vision board that I created at the end of last year, and I put lots of different things in it. It was like a whole life and lifestyle manifestation that was being recorded on the vision board. One of those things was that I wanted to manifest my skin goals. I wanted to manifest my skin to look a certain way. I wanted my skin to be clear and radiant and even skin tone, and ultimately my goal is to kind of reduce the amount of makeup that I feel like I have to wear. I feel like quite not self-conscious about my skin, but I'm just aware that my skin isn't as clear or as like even as it has been in the past, and I just feel more confident, I feel more myself when I am wearing makeup. And it's not that I don't want to stop, it's not that I want to stop wearing makeup completely, but I want to just lessen the amount of makeup I wear because I just hate how much time it takes. I don't like looking very makeupy. So anyway, I want my skin to look a certain way. I ended up connecting with this business on Instagram who are also quite a new business, and we got to chatting about different things. We kind of, we were connecting over manifesting. Their values in their skincare business are very much around manifesting as well. And then the lovely lady behind the business offered me one of her LED facial massagers to try at home. This manifesting story is so great because I had put the vision of the skin kind of to the back of my mind because a lot of skincare and products, etc., are not safe for pregnancy. So I just sort of reserved myself to the fact that I'm probably not going to be looking at serious skincare goals and taking serious skincare action until after my baby's born, and maybe even after I stop breastfeeding. So I had sort of said, well, I'm going to look after my skin in the meantime, but I'm not going to take serious skincare action at this time in my life. And I had made peace with that. Anyway, this lovely lady was like, look, I used this product, this tool when I was pregnant, and it's amazing. Would you like to try one? And I was like, yes, please. So she gave me her LED facial massager, 7-in-1. This thing is so cool, guys, honestly. I've not long started using it, but it has 7 color settings to address all different skincare problems or concerns or things that you might be trying to improve, like anti-aging, acne, oil control, skin, even skin tone, things like that. And it also has different heat settings and a vibration setting. So it's almost like having a little facial massage device, or like facial treatment at home. So I honestly was so like, this is such a manifestation story. Like, getting this amazing, incredible tool that is suitable for pregnancy was just like, oh my gosh, I can work towards my skincare goals. And the moral of that story is, in terms of manifesting, is that when we release our attachment and desperation towards trying to manifest something, it always snaps in the fastest. So if you're wondering why some things manifest faster than others, look at how desperate you're being towards one thing compared to the other. It's actually a really good exercise to take time to maybe write down what is feeling hard to manifest, what is manifesting easy, and look at how you're approaching them completely differently. What energy are you bringing that is completely different to both of these types of manifestations? Because you might actually realize quite a lot about how you're approaching manifesting these things. Why does one thing feel so hard and so desperate and the other thing doesn't? And you might actually uncover some hidden subconscious beliefs about that thing and about your ability to manifest that. So LED massager, I'm using the green setting at the moment, which is to address uneven skin tone. That is something I'm really wanting to address because I have a little bit of like marking. It's not scarring as such, it kind of is, but like some marking from previous breakouts. and I've actually got some scarring from baby scratches, toddler scratches. If you've got kids, I'm sure you've been there. I just want to just feel a bit better about my skin. Just want my skin to feel a bit more brighter, a bit more clear, and just have that bit more radiance and glow, because this pregnancy I don't feel as if I've had the same glow that I did with my first pregnancy, but there's probably a lot of factors and every pregnancy is different. So yeah, let's get underway with some facial massaging. So I'm actually just going to put a bit of my Charlotte Tilbury's Collagen Super Fusion Facial Oil, and I'm not mad about oils on my skin. I don't use them very often because they've caused me to break out quite badly in the past, but I do like to use them from time to time because I just feel like they give that really nice hydration. And I'm also trying to run down a lot of my products because, as I mentioned in the last vlog, I'm really wanting to do a big organic overhaul in every area of my life. So my skincare products, my shower and bath care products, the stuff in the kitchen, cleaning, cooking, whatever it is, I really want to do a big overhaul on getting the house non-toxic, getting the house organic. So I'm just kind of running down a lot of my products at the moment. And unfortunately, the Charlotte Tilbury one is one of them because, yeah, it's so expensive and I just don't believe it's got the kind of organic values behind the brand that I'm really looking for. So I'm going to get my facial massager ready. And now I'm still kind of figuring out how to use this, but yeah, so I want the green setting. Let's put it on to hot. Let's give this a try. So I'm just gonna, oh, there's the vibration kicking in now. So yeah, I'm just gonna like push this gently up my skin in upward motions. The other story that I actually wanted to tell you was how my seasonal living journey began. It was funny because I was voice noting a friend this week and we were just kind of reflecting on how we were both feeling in quite a state of uncertainty, and there was a lot of things that weren't feeling very clear in our lives. We were reflecting on, our lives over the past couple of years. I was talking about how we, as a family, wanted to move abroad. So back in 2023, we had decided that we were going to look into Dubai as a place for us to move. Dubai ticked a lot of boxes for us. My husband and I have been over many times and we decided to go with our then 10-month-old to see how we got on, to see if we genuinely felt as if this place could be home for us and see that there was the opportunities there that we would be looking for. We went over, we had booked a 2-week holiday, we had such a great time. We were about, 10, 11 days into the 2 weeks and we thought, yeah, this is for us. We were feeling really confident about doing this massive life-changing event. On about the 11th day, we were involved in a car accident and that wasn't our fault. Someone had ran into the back of us and it was a total nightmare. It was funny because it was almost like the universe's way of saying, look, this isn't actually right for you. This, for whatever reason, it wasn't clear at the time, but this isn't the right place for you to be. It was really a harsh realisation of, actually Dubai's got so much going for it, but the road safety was a huge deal breaker for us because with a young family in the back of the car, it's like, it just doesn't feel safe enough. It turned into a complete nightmare, a nightmare holiday. I actually don't think we can ever go back to Dubai, if I'm totally honest. Anyway, we got home safe and sound. We were all fine, by the way, in the car accident. We were shaken, but we were all fine, miraculously, because the car was completely written off. We got home and it was like, right, I really need to find a way to make peace with the fact that we're not moving anytime soon, because there's other destinations that we considered moving to. And I thought, winter's coming. Winter's really hard for so many of us. I find winter really, really, really hard. And autumn always feels really unsettling for me. And I see people saying, like, oh, it's my favourite season. I love autumn. But as soon as I see those leaves changing and the nights drawing in. I almost get this real anxiousness because I know what's coming, if you know what I mean. Thought I've really got to work on this. I've really got to get on board with where we're living, because I'm not going to allow myself to be miserable about the fact that we're back in Scotland and that is where we will be for until further notice, until the foreseeable future. So, oh, that was so nice. That was such a treat getting that little bit of stimulation and massage on the face. So I decided that when we got home, I was going to commit to really embracing everything that life in the north of Scotland has to offer. I needed to embrace the seasons, I needed to embrace what the seasons bring, and I needed to find the positive things about the season in order to feel like I could survive here. Not just survive, that I could thrive as much as possible. So when we got home, that is exactly what I did. I was like, right, autumn, let's do it. I'm going to embrace all aspects of autumn. And I'd already been working a lot with the seasons in my work through my yoga teaching and different things like that. So, you know, I was very aware of what the seasons bring and things like that, but I just maybe hadn't been embracing it on a personal level as much as I could have or should have. That is actually what started my seasonal living journey. It just kind of became so natural for me to do this after that, because we had the autumn, we had the winter, and then as we were coming into the spring, that is when I manifested so much that I talked about in my last video. I realised how the seasons worked at that point. I realised that the autumn was for reflection, it was for clearing, it was for like this kind of metaphorical death in life. And the car accident was just actually very poetic when I look back at it all. It was kind of like like a death of some part of our lives, a death of that dream, to be quite honest. It was the death of a dream. But it really did reroute me and realign me with what was waiting for me in the springtime. And I would not be sitting here having this conversation with you now had things turned out any differently. So, you know, it's all these little events that line up and all these little synchronicities that line up that is what brings like these bigger manifestations and these bigger reality changes. So seasonal living has been a really amazing way for me to trust that everything has a season. And even when things feel stuck and stagnant, it's like, well, what's nature doing? What is the astrological transits doing? What cycle is the moon in? Everything has its moment and everything has its divine timing. So yeah, that is actually what began my seasonal living journey. It was quite a shocking set of events. I just wanted to share that part of the story with you because I didn't really get time to cover that in the last video. On that note, I went to check my seeds from my intention planting cards from the other week, and they got stagnant actually for about a week or so. There was a few sprouts, then they went a bit stagnant, and I thought, oh, that's a bit strange. I had expected to see a bit more movement and growth by now. But I thought, stop interfering, Courtney, stop interfering, let nature do its job, trust that everything is happening as it should. But actually, instinctively, I just decided to move my pots because I thought, I actually don't think they're getting enough sunlight here. So I moved them from the front garden to the back garden. I left them for 3 to 5 days. I went back and checked them, and this is what happened. So you can see that there is so many more sprouts in the tubs now. And honestly, I feel like this is such a lovely moment just to reflect on nature and its parallels with the manifesting process. There's something happening under the surface even when it doesn't look like it, and when things feel stuck and stagnant, you have to trust that there is something unseen that is still germinating and rooting and growing and being nourished under the surface, but you must take the right action. So, you know, if I didn't move my pots, maybe the same result would have happened, but I just took a little bit of inspired action and something that I thought would help to nourish those seeds a bit better. And it's also asking ourselves, like, how can we nourish our dreams and goals and our manifestations a little bit better? Can we be taking a moment to reflect and ask ourselves, like, Is this being nourished and nurtured in the right way? Am I aligned? Am I tuned in? Am I checking in on how things are feeling and how things are going? And then just taking like those little tiny adjustments that might need to be made, because that was a tiny adjustment. I literally just moved the pots and then more seeds started to sprout. So I just wanted to share that little kind of manifesting story as well. I do have more to cover in this video, but I am going to leave it there for now. If you like my LED facial massager and you want to try one, I actually have a code for 20% off site-wide. This is from a company called Elvin, and I'm going to link it all in the description. You'll get the link straight to their website, and my discount code will be sitting there waiting for you. And I'll document my progress with this as well, because I have only used this a couple of times. I'll find out and see if I can get to my skincare goals soon. Hey everyone, welcome back. I am just rounding off the week now. I'm sitting in front of my laptop and I am going through the reading that Chat GPT gave me for my personal prediction for the Aries Solar Eclipse. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run through some of the things that it has predicted that I can seriously relate something to that has happened this week. This isn't just a, oh yeah, that like kind of happened. I'm only going to talk about the things that have actually had a tangible kind of result. This is something that I honestly think I might do more of, like with upcoming moons, upcoming astrological events. I seriously will be using ChatGPT again for personal predictions. And if this is something that you're interested in trying as well, then do subscribe and follow along, because I will be sharing the exact prompts that I'm using on ChatGPT to get these accurate results. So, oh, sorry, I'm getting out of breath. I'm getting so excited. So, it said that my week was going to begin with bringing emotional focus to home, family, and security. And this was largely linked to the biggest manifestation that happened last week, and actually the biggest manifestation that's happened in mine and my husband's life in a very, very long time. So the result of this manifestation does bring balance, stability, and security to our home and family life. So that was very interesting. That was probably the biggest manifestation that unfolded. It also said that a partner, family member, or living situation could arise demanding a choice. And this is heavily linked to the manifestation that I was just referencing, because we had a big decision to make. We had a big choice to make. We had two paths in front of us, and we had to sit down and ask ourselves what path was going to align best with what we were trying to manifest. And that did involve my partner, involved my husband. So that was totally accurate. Not everything was, as I say, I'm not going to reference anything that was just loosely related to my week. I only want to touch on the things that were actually tangible. So when I asked for more clarity on the choice that would need to be made, or the decision that would need to be made, it told me that because my moon is in Taurus, financial stability would be a top priority for me, and that I just did not want any uncertainty. And that was very, very true. At this time in our lives, with a new baby coming very soon, financial stability has been a conversation and a focus in our house. And it said that this decision was going to involve others, and it was going to involve a business partnership, a contract, or even how you present your business to the world. Now, this is interesting because it did involve a business partnership, it did involve a contract, it just wasn't directly linked to me. this manifestation unfolded, like the more direct link was through my husband. So it kind of came to us as a family and to me as an individual through him. He was kind of like the vessel for this manifestation. So that was so accurate. So guys, that was a couple of really interesting predictions from Chat GPT. And again, if you want the prompt that I used for the Aries Solar Eclipse, comment under the video and I will give it to you, because we're still in the eclipse vortex, so it might actually be interesting to see what's been happening according to your astrology over the last couple of weeks and what actually might still be to come in terms of shifts. So it's not too late to try this prompt. Yeah, let me know if you want to see more like this, because I will share the prompts I use for each of the upcoming astrological events and things, and we'll see if ChatGPT is actually worth its weight in gold. But I have to say, so far I'm very, very impressed. But I am actually going to review this when we officially come out of eclipse season, because there's still a lot of time for some of these themes to unfold. So I would want to give ChatGPT the chance to maybe have actually come up with some other predictions that are true as well. I just want to say, hope you have all been having a great week. I hope the eclipse has been kind to you, and I look forward to catching up with you in the next vlog. But take care for now, everyone. Bye!